Picture yourself trapped in a small town where every glance hides a secret and every touch is a promise. I'm a young teacher, my nights consumed by forbidden thoughts of a man I shouldn't want. His hands offer paradise, his voice beckons me to the edge. Will I dare to leap? My name is Laura Wilson, and I'm 27, living in Elmwood, Connecticut, a place where white picket fences guard more secrets than they show. I teach English at Elmwood High, and my classroom is where poetry comes alive, where kids forget their phones and fall into Whitman or Frost. My chestnut curls and green eyes turn heads, but I keep everyone at arm's length. Or I did until Nathan Reed walked into my life. It all started with his son, Caleb, my student. Caleb's 17, with gray eyes and a gift for writing essays that stop my breath. His words are a storm, and I spend hours poring over his work, scribbling notes to urge him deeper. He smiles when I hand back his notebook, and I tell myself it's just pride in a talented kid. But then I met his father. Nathan Reed strode into my classroom during parent-teacher night, and the air turned electric. He's around 40, an architect from Hartford, with a body that suggests he spends as much time on construction sites as at a drafting table. His blue eyes pierce through you, and his dark hair, slightly tousled, begs to be touched. I stood to greet him, and his handshake was firm, his fingers lingering on mine. "Ms. Wilson," he said, his voice low like velvet. "Caleb says you make literature come alive." Heat crept up my cheeks. "He's gifted," I replied, adjusting my glasses. "I just help him find his voice." Nathan's smile was a slow burn, like an invitation to sin. "You do more than help, Laura. You enchant." My name on his lips felt like a song I wanted to hear again. I looked away, pretending to shuffle papers, but his scent, cedar and musk, had already burrowed into my memory. After that night, Nathan found reasons to see me. He'd stop by after school, supposedly to talk about Caleb, but our conversations veered elsewhere. We debated art, music, how a single line of poetry could break a heart. He spoke of his projects, how he loved the feel of wood under his hands, and I imagined those hands on me. I knew it was dangerous. He was my student's father, and I was a teacher whose career hung on a spotless reputation. But every time he was near, my body ignited. One evening, I stayed late at school, grading papers as rain drummed outside. The classroom was dimly lit, and I was alone, or thought I was, when the door creaked open. Nathan stood there, his shirt clinging to his chest from the rain, outlining every muscle. "Caleb forgot to turn this in," he said, holding out a folder, but his eyes said he wasn't here for that. I stepped forward to take the papers, and our fingers brushed. A jolt shot through me, and this time I didn't pull away. "You're always this thoughtful?" I asked, my voice husky. He closed the distance, and I felt the heat of his body. "Only when it's something I care about," he said, his gaze sliding to my lips. "And you, Laura, I care about deeply." My heart pounded. I should have stopped it, told him to leave, but his closeness was a drug. "Nathan," I whispered, my throat dry, "this is wrong." He leaned in, his lips so close I felt his breath. "Then why does it feel so right?" I didn't answer. Instead, I reached up and touched his cheek, feeling the stubble under my fingers. His eyes darkened, and he covered my hand with his, pressing it to his skin. "Tell me to stop," he murmured. But I couldn't. I stepped closer, and he wrapped an arm around my waist, pulling me against him. His hands were strong, sure, and my body melted into his. Our lips met, and the kiss was a spark. Hungry, desperate, unleashing everything we'd held back for weeks. His hands slid down my back, gripping the fabric of my blouse, and I gasped as he deepened the kiss, his tongue teasing mine. We broke apart, breathless, and I saw the same fire in his eyes that burned in me. "Laura," he said, his voice rough, "I want you. But only if you want this too." I knew the risks: my job, my reputation, Caleb's trust. But in that moment, all that mattered was his heat, his touch, the look in his eyes promising everything I craved. "I want you," I whispered. His smile was unguarded, raw. He took my hand and led me to the teacher's lounge down the hall, where no one would see us. The door clicked shut, and he pressed me against the wall, his lips finding mine again. His hands roamed my body, sliding over my hips, inching up the hem of my skirt. I wrapped my arms around his neck, pulling him closer, feeling his heart race against mine. Every touch was a spark, every kiss a flame. His fingers found the buttons of my blouse, and I shivered as cool air hit my skin when he parted the fabric, his lips tracing a path down my neck. I tugged at his shirt, needing to feel his skin, his warmth, and when our bodies pressed together, I forgot everything: Elmwood, the school, the rules. We moved as one, our breaths mingling, our hands seeking each other in the dark. It was more than physical. It was a dance, every motion a word we couldn't speak. When we reached the edge, the world dissolved, leaving only us, entwined in a moment that was ours alone. Afterward, we lay on the lounge's couch, his hand stroking my hair, our breaths slowing. I knew this couldn't last. Not in Elmwood, not with Caleb trusting me. But in that moment, I had no regrets.
If you loved my story of forbidden fire and a dance that changed everything, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more tales that set your imagination ablaze. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think?